films even after losing a box. After a 5-mile walk around town, I never smell your socks. You hid movies from your folks and your mom hid them from your grandma. And a lot of the time that we hang out, you record it with your camera. Always have the strength to forgive when I hit you in the eye. You eat Chinese ramen, nachos, fish, even pizza pie. Standing tall with curly hair, leather jacket wrapped. Oh look, here he comes, the Million Film Almanac. Bobbly, 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 bellissimo. Bobbly, 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 bellissimo. Bobbly, bellissimo. Bobbly, bellissimo.
Hi, and welcome to Terribly Fun Film. Today, we have a movie that was 15 years in the making and was released 2 years after its writer and director's death. Production on the movie The Evil Within, which has nothing to do with the video game of the same name, is real interesting. And I'm going to go through it real quick, just so everybody knows the sort of insane dedication it took to make this movie. Andrew Getty is the writer and director of the movie originally titled The Storyteller, and then it was changed over to The Evil Within for reasons I know nothing about. And he's part of the Getty family, as in the gazillionaires, oil company, all that jazz. He had really thick and intense dreams when he was a child, nightmares, I should say, that he did not think came from his own mind, and he never got that idea out of his head. As he grew up, he decided he was going to make a movie about it. This is that movie. He spent tons of money turning his own mansion and whatnot into a complete studio. And I do mean complete. He had an editing suite. He had a special effects department, all housed in his house. He spent so much time crafting and creating all of the animatronics that you see. There's an octopus animatronic at a restaurant that's sort of like a Chuck E. Cheese that you see in one shot. And Getty spent however long, a year, I don't quite know there, getting that just right so it would light up just right when he needed it to. He sadly died before the movie was actually finished. A friend of his and a producer on the movie actually took it over and finished the film off, and the movie finally got released earlier this year, 2017. So was that hardcore dedication really worth it? Or is it just better left in Getty's own head? Let's find out as I review The Evil Within. The Evil Within follows the character of Dennis, who suffered brain damage due to an accident from years ago in his childhood, and his brother John, as he tries to figure out how he can move on with his life, marry his girlfriend Lydia, and stop feeling like he's just in the shadow and being forced to take care of Dennis all the time. Which I know sounds like a very basic setup for a drama, not a hardcore horror film that this is. Within that, though, we get something magical, something splendid, something that will only come once every few years. I don't expect to see another movie this intense, this original, this visually jaw-droppingly fantastic for a very, very long time to come. Horror comes in how Dennis wants to become independent. He keeps having these crazy nightmares. And eventually the person telling him the dreams, the storyteller, as the original title of the movie was, comes to fruition and starts telling him to kill small animals, squirrels, cats, and then graduates to small children. And then he goes full on serial killer and just starts murdering everybody. And it's all wrapped up in surreal imagery and visual trickery and grandeur that just makes this movie so hypnotic. You cannot tear your eyes away from it. Say what you want about the story. I think it really, really does work. I think that you understand John's plight, his frustration, why he doesn't want to put Dennis into a home. You understand Dennis feeling smothered by John and jealous of Lydia, John's girlfriend and stuff. But the visuals are where this really stands out because they are haunting. The first sequence in the film is just kind of a weird looking room with a small window. Things just keep changing. A shelf appears here, and a counter grows there, and a door and stairs there, that sort of thing. And so weirdly unique that you instantly get enthralled. It's something that weird until we jump out of that into a dream being described by Dennis that sees him and his mom at an abandoned carnival. They're the only people there to go onto the haunted scare ride. They go on one that comes through the world's scariest. He's very disappointed in it. Then his mom, who has these big sunglasses on, says, "What makes you think it's over?" Takes it off, and her eyes are also her mouth, and they're all saying the same thing in tandem. Then he wakes up, only to find it's actually still in a dream, and that the person telling the dream is actually unzipping him from the back and entering him. And you see it. The camera is very set kind of like mine is now. If I were to stretch out like this, you would see the arms moving in weird ways, like somebody's putting on, an Egger suit, if you will. And this is only the first few minutes of the film, and it's astonishing. And from that onward, the tone never really shifts or changes. It's all very perfect, and the visuals remain this incredible throughout. I brought up an octopus who's meant to be animatronic. It's meant to look fake. It's meant to be a Chuck E. Cheese-like thing. But even that looks really cool because the way the shot is set up is Dennis is asking John how they get the creatures to move. And they're saying, well, it's animatronic. It's fairly simple. Take the octopus there. It has wires going all the way up past the curtains where we can't see. And there are levers and all this other stuff. And as he's describing it, the camera turns, just one shot, not at it, turns to it, and it lights up the back of the stage. And you can actually see above where the curtain cuts off. And you can see those wires and those pulleys and all that jazz that he's talking about. I can't imagine how much time it took, how many times they had to redo that take to get the lighting perfect for that scene. But it is. And it just adds to the overall quality of the movie because of it. And that scene in and of itself is not scary at all. It's actually one of the more light-hearted family moments in the film. But that it works in context of everything else, and that it is still so visually interesting with simply just some lights and a turn of a camera speaks to Getty's dedication as a director to this story, to these nightmares, to all of that jazz. I could go on and on about all the visuals in the movie. That would probably leave us at an hour or more runtime with this video. As of me filming this, I'm already at 12 minutes. That's before edits, so bear that in mind. I won't, but every visual, every light, every turn of the camera, every animatronic, every special effect is done with precision care to make it feel not just otherworldly or surreal, but to make it seem like plausible even when it's moving in a way that defies nature and physics. And you buy into it. You buy into it. There are moments you're not sure what's real and what's a dream, point of the movie, mind you, until after the entire sequence has concluded. Because that's how dedicated everybody working on this movie was to getting that sort of thing right. Directorially speaking, it is one of the best films of the year. So clearly Getty was super dedicated to this stuff. But credit should also go to the person who finished the film off for 2 years after Getty died, and that's the producer of the movie, Michael Lasuri, who was also the editor. I think having that close relationship with Getty, in terms of being a producer on the film, being his friend, and editing the movie, gives him a unique insight into being a qualified candidate to finish it off. Because I don't know which scenes were shot when. I have absolutely no idea. There are a few I have my guesses on, but everything does fit tonally and in terms of the aesthetics and the pacing and the rhythm the movie finds. Nothing feels off, and it all really works in that regard. So Sarah should share credit with Getty, even though this is very much Getty's personal vision. So bear that in mind. Definitely his movie, the way he wanted it. Of course, all those amazing visuals and mostly in-camera tricks wouldn't work if the cinematography was bad, but it's astounding, to say the least. It was done by Stephen Sheridan, and it really is a beautiful work of art. I have never seen in this movie. There's a really cool sequence near the end of the film where a sort of puppet show happens, and they use lighting and shadow to make it seem like there's a never-ending staircase going down the wall with the character just flipping. It's so cool to look at. So the editing by Michael Lasuri, who's the producer and the one who finished it, and Michael Pomero also strike that pitch-perfect tone, makes everything right and enthralling and exhilarating. And the movie's actually scary because you feel for the characters. You want to know what's going to happen to them. You are fearful of what's going to happen to them. And whenever the insanity happens, it's so intense and visceral that it's hard to properly describe without giving certain things away. Adding to all this is the art, production, and set design by Aaron King, Richard Bernstein, Sam Shilas, and Ron White, respectively. And of course, it's all great. This is the sort of movie that requires every single person throughout every single aspect of production to be on the exact same page at the exact same time. So, camera is set up here, and there's a bed, characters lying on top of the bed holding a mirror up, looking like this, and it's flip-flopping. So we see the reflection talking, and then we see the person on the bed talking. You need things like that to make sense. So you need the set designer, the production designer, and the art designer to realize where the cameras need to be, how the space is going to be laid out. In terms of the movement of the reflection, they need to be aware of if you can see the cameras in them and that sort of thing. And that you can't is amazing. And I'm not really sure entirely how they got some of these shots, but it is so cool. And of course, every aspect works on that level. The costumes were by Jose Riviera. So the costumes are good, but nothing stand out-ish. But they're not meant to. That is really just what the people in this era wear in present day. The special effects makeup, on the other hand, has a remarkable team that included Suma Abazdana, Teresa Baca, Michelle Chung, Scott Connor, Tom Devlin, Pekka Coy, Abby Lyle, Ken Netterbaumer, Claudia Orzoroko, Dave Snyder, Brian Severman, Michael B. Williams, and Shelley Willis. I mentioned everybody in the makeup department because they had an insane, seemingly insurmountable task set before them. Michael Berryman is in the movie, and he plays the storyteller. The makeup on this guy is insane. The makeup when he's putting on the dentist suit is insane. The special effects and the makeup for a character who becomes a spider near the end of the movie. It's complicated, but it makes sense. Is mind-blowingly effective. The makeup in this film is one of the film's strongest aspects, and this movie only has strong aspects. Special and visual effects were done by Chris Dawson, Billy Corna, Ben DeLong, Corinna Leibel, Scott McGowan, and Bob Wasson. You've already heard me go on and on about how impressive they were and how every little thing had to come together to make it so. That's why each department is getting such high praise from me, so I won't dwell very long on here. But they really had their work cut out for them, and they delivered in a really big, intense, interesting way. Of course, none of this would matter if the story was not there to support it, and the story is. It's not simply about Dennis and John trying to live together. Dennis turns increasingly crazy because of the nightmares of his dreams and the storyteller. That there is a sense of dread when he starts going after people. There's a sense of urgency to everything. So, of course, none of that would matter if the characters were not brought to life in a likable or engaging manner. Happily, everybody here does a really fantastic job. Cedric Kohler plays Dennis. Cedric Kohler has been acting since he was 8. His first role was as one of the children in, of all things, Mr. Mom. Since then, he's had a series of movies and a ton of TV shows, and absolutely nothing I actually recognize him from. Before sitting down to record this review, I was, doing some research and whatnot, and I don't recognize him from anything. Like, Mr. Mom was so long ago that I doubt I would have recognized his name just from that, and I've never really seen most of the TV shows he's appeared on. Not all, but most. So I didn't know what to expect. He's astounding here. Watching him flip back and forth between the more timid, real-life version of Dennis and the much more aggressive, psychotic, intense dream/storyteller Dennis is amazing. Just in one scene, the mirror sequence I was talking about earlier, acting in that is so crazy. It's so good. So back and funny, I've been a fan of course, since Young Indiana Jones, because I have a shelf dedicated to Indiana Jones in my apartment, and they own all the seasons of that show. And he delivers in a big way here as John, Dennis's brother. He and Kohler share excellent chemistry. They're a believable family, even when they're pissing each other off. And it's very much. More importantly, even when John is getting angry or aggressive, you always feel bad for him. You feel that he is trapped. You feel his pain and his frustration with Dennis, with life, generally speaking. And without that empathy for this character, I can't imagine this movie working at all because of how the ending plays out, which I won't spoil. But playing Lydia, the oft-put-upon girlfriend, is Dina Meyer, who is great. It's Dina Meyer. Of course she is, right? But she brings a lot of heart and a lot of logic to the role. And it was really fun talking to her at Dragon Con about this movie because, it did take so long to make, so she didn't get cast on until kind of late in the process, but there were still times where they would call her back for some reshoots and stuff. That was interesting to hear out. The point being, she works well with the other two main leads, and what happens to her is the most horrifying thing that happens in the film, and it's sick and it's intense. And you will have the feels afterwards. Michael Berryman is perhaps best known for his role in The Hills Have Eyes. Here, he plays the non-Dennis suit-wearing storyteller. So when we see that dream character outside of wearing the Dennis suit, this is what he looks like. He's all gray. If you've seen the cover or the poster that I'll probably use for this, that's him. And he doesn't have too many lines. I don't know if he actually says anything, because I think it's just Dennis's voice we hear. But he's creepy as hell. He's just intense. His stare makes you just uneasy, and watching him not care what happens to other people while he's controlling his body is unsettling, to say the least. There is another prominent character named Susan who runs the ice cream shop that our main three often go to, that Dennis has a little bit of a crush on. She's good. Not a ton of screen time, but like a sequence where Dennis is kind of asking her out and it speeds her out. She's trying to explain why it wouldn't work out and, why this is a bad idea, and she gets scared off. He's really well handled and really intense. Kid Jarvie plays Mildy Torres, a social services worker who's investigating John and Dennis, seeing if they do fit together, if the government should force Dennis into a state-run home, things like that. She's good. She comes off as very one-note. Part of that's the writing. The character really is only after one thing and is very direct and nothing else. So that's not a huge criticism, and it's how the character should come off, especially as things start ramping up and that sort of thing. There are two other characters who really do play a huge part, and that's Francis Gooden as Dr. Preston and Tim Bigley as their friend Pete. And they both do really good jobs. Both of them aren't in it that much. Pete really only has one sequence, and the Doctor has 4 scenes, but they each deliver where it counts. They each have good chemistry with everybody, and each makes the characters believable. Especially Pete has some odd things going on around him. Mario Grigorov's score is really fantastic, really intense. It never intrudes on anything, it never goes for jump scares, but it does just slowly envelop you into the strange things you're witnessing on screen, and it just makes them even stranger and creepier, and you can't look away. Evil Within is phenomenal in every imaginable way. There are a plot hole or two that I can see some people being bothered by, like there's a scene where Gina Meyer and Patrick Flannery happen to be at the same restaurant, but for 2 different reasons, and he thinks she might be following them. That's never followed up again, never brought up again. It's a little bit weird, but I don't care, because for a low budget, independently produced horror film, this film is something different. This film is unique. This film is visuals that will just be tattooed into my memories for eons to come. And it's genuinely scary. It's genuinely just creepy as hell. And it works. It's all the performances are by actors and actresses trying and doing a really damn good job. Everybody wants to deliver a particular kind of movie, and they do. As always, I've been your host, Bobby. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.